Okay, I think the stream's working now. I'm doing a new thing where I live stream Dragon Ball Super reviews, and today we have Dragon Ball Super episode 60 just aired. So, what exactly we have in this episode? I hope this goes off without a somewhat of a hitch, really, because I got my notes right here. There's some, I don't know what the heck these people in the chat are doing. I want to get the chat up on the screen, but I'll do that for another stream. I got my notes here. Herms from Kanzenshu translates, obviously, a lot of the stuff in these episodes when they air. So, bad lighting, 0 out of 10. I know the lighting's terrible. I'm working on getting like a good lamp. I have one right next to me, but it's terrible. It looks even creepier like that. So, with episode 60, what do we have exactly that happened in here? Most of you probably already watched it. But a lot of the beginning of the episode, and mainly really just the first half before the real first commercial break kind of happened, a lot of it was just the gang sitting down eating and I guess not really celebrating, but kind of gathered around. Trunks trying to figure out, from what I was gathering, he's trying to figure out, like, is the future really safe? Probably not. Everyone's kind of talking about the future and gathered around. Beerus has like this soup dish that he was eating, which I think was in the last manga chapter, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not really a huge deal. But Trunks is kind of there, and one of the things that was really going on is he was explaining to the kid Trunks, like, this is what's gone down in my future, and it was kind of like the lowdown on what has happened. You know, there were the Jinzo Negans, or androids, that, you know, made a threat. He's kind of explained, like, my world's messed up, and that took up a big portion of the episode, I would say. He's kind of taking him up in the air and doing that sort of stuff with him. So that definitely took up a lot of the first half of the episode. Is kind of just, you know, a little bit not really unnecessary, but maybe could have been done in a different way. It's not that bad. I think this episode especially would be working a lot better if you were watching it along with the other episodes, instead of just, you know, waiting a week like we do and watching it there. But Beerus gets up a little bit kind of, I guess, testy, because they're going to go back to the future, and Goku asks Beerus if he wants to go with them. Beerus declines, which probably would be a good idea. It would be a good idea if Beerus kind of went with him. But there's this whole thing about Trunks is maybe thinking that, well, time travel doesn't work this way, so even though you killed Zamasu, he's still going to be there in my timeline. That's kind of what's going through his head. But he also thinks, maybe since it's a god on a god killing, because Beerus killed Zamasu, so he's like destroying him, maybe it's different. Obviously it's not. We know that, especially from the last episode. We already saw them and everything else that's going on. But it would... One thing I did like, though, is that I guess Bulma had repaired Trunks' sword, because if I remember correctly, didn't Zamasu break it? I know that she gave him the sword. I think when he was fighting Zamasu, I think Zamasu broke the sword, am I correct? Or he had it broken at some point there. I could be wrong, I'm going off memory here. And this whole live stream thing's a little bit, making me a little bit nervous, just so I don't mess up, because I got the summary right here. I'm trying not to mess up on this, and it's going to be terrible. And then after this, after I review the episode, we're going to go on to you guys in the chat, and we'll talk about the episode from there. But the next one of these will be way better than this one. This one's going to be terrible. Goku was going to forget sensu beans, but Bulma grabbed them, made sure he got them in his belt loop, or in his belt for his gi. And Bulma insists on coming along, and I'm not really sure why that was. I didn't get that much info. If anyone knows that, I'm not really sure. I didn't know why she wanted to do that. But the one thing that was cool is that she did go, and when she gets there, number one, Zamasu and Goku Black feel the presence of Goku and the others. They're just like, yep, he's here. He is definitely here. But what I'm saying, what's cool is after they got off that, Trunks is rushed to the underground bunker to see Mai, because Mai is injured. She was doing some heroic bullshit involving Goku Black, I guess. But what was cool is that Bulma was being recognized by a couple people, but it was the present day Bulma, so it was kind of interesting to see that Yajirobe had recognized her, and I guess she's kind of like, explaining like, yeah, I'm the present day Bulma. I'm the one from the past. So it was kind of cool to see that. I'm just still a little unsure of why she went, but I'm sure that was said, and I just didn't get the information. What else do we have here in between all the big scenes? Pretty much what the big thing that happened next. Well, I guess before that, Mai is on the ground injured after her heroic deeds, of course. And what happens is Trunks takes a sensu bean from Goku and is going to give it to her. But it was interesting, and Dragon Ball's trying to pull off some like passionate romance stuff here, and it was a little bit weird because it's like a close-up shot, but Trunks eats the sensu bean and then goes into like regurgitate it into Mai's mouth because she's like unconscious, but he just goes in for like the super passionate kiss. It was a little weird seeing that. Maybe it was just me, but it was just like, you guys are killing me here. But what happens after that, after Mai wakes up, the next big thing that really matters is that Goku and the others meet up and they find Goku Black and Zamasu, and pretty much instantly what kind of goes on then is Vegeta goes in there and tries to thwomp Goku Black. I don't know why he's trying to fight him again, because, spoiler alert, in this episode, I was talking about this, the preview, we saw that Goku Black and Vegeta were fighting, and I thought there'd be some sort of a big deal with this. There's nothing. There is nothing. He just goes and fights him, and then the fight kind of ends with them just going against, not really injuring each other. They just kind of go off their separate ways and just kind of stand off. Vegeta powers down. It's just that little fight, that flurry of punches you see in the preview is literally all that was in the episode, pretty much. Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black versus Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. It was nothing spectacular. Vegeta did not get mud stomped. It wasn't really a stalemate, but no one was really injured to an extreme extent, right? So that was kind of disappointing and not really shocking to me, but it is just because we knew the episode 61 spoilers, right? And those spoilers don't matter because it's already in this episode. At the end of the episode, it's revealed that Goku Black, I've talked about this before, we've talked about this before in, videos before, spoilers and all that stuff. Goku Black is Zamasu, who had used the Dragon Balls to switch bodies with a version of Goku. We don't know how that's going to be explained. All we know is that it is the body of Goku right now, but it is the mind of a Zamasu, and hopefully that is going to be more elaborated upon in the next episode. And I believe he did say it was the Super Dragon Balls. So it's kind of what I thought was going to happen, obviously, the Super Dragon Balls, because the regular Dragon Balls would not have the power to do that kind of a deed. So I think that it is the Super Dragon Balls, and I'm pretty sure he did say that. So how's the stream quality looking? I see the video quality might be a little low. I'm going to get all this stuff fixed up, hopefully, for next week, too. But hopefully the stream quality is good. The sync is good, all that stuff. Just let me know. I really want to get this chat bar up here on the top of the screen, but we'll figure that out. But that's basically, in a nutshell, pretty much mostly what happened in the episode. Start talking about the episode in the chat, guys. What did I miss that you want me to talk about? What do you want my thoughts on? This episode, though, I guess I should actually tell you what I thought. It was a good episode. Super has been consistently pretty good recently. This episode is one of the weaker ones of this arc, and I think the main reason is because a lot of it was a little bit of filler with Trunks kind of explaining his past to Kid Trunks. A lot of the first half of the episode was a little bit unengaging. It wasn't that well paced, I don't think. It wasn't terrible, but the pacing could have been better. The animation was pretty good. I like the shots where they redid the fight between Trunks and Android 18 and 17. Even though it wasn't really animation, it was kind of just like still frames. But it did look cool. I don't know if they were being lazy or if it really was just for style. But I don't think it was a bad episode, but it is definitely one of the weaker ones of this arc. I just think anything that involves this Goku Black storyline is always engaging. A lot of this episode, I was waiting to see, like, are they going to explain his identity in this episode, or are they really going to hold it off in this episode? Because the preview, the summary for 61 made it seem like they weren't going to do anything in this episode. But obviously the title, Goku Black's identity revealed, you would think that they would talk about, and they did. But we've had an episode title like this before. But I think it definitely is an episode that could have been approached in a very different way, for sure. It didn't need to be as badly paced as it was. It didn't need as much of the BS in the beginning as it did. But, I mean, if you're watching this, like I said, if you are watching this episode after an episode, I don't think this is going to be that offensive to you. But I feel like since we are watching these once a week, this is kind of like we didn't get anything, we waited a week for this crap. But if you're watching the last couple episodes, then you get this one, I think it would actually be pretty good. And that's when you kind of got to separate the mind like that. You kind of have to look at it from both angles, really. But a lot of you guys in the comments seem to think that this was a pretty poor episode, and I can understand that completely. I didn't think it was too bad. I just think that it was a weak one in relation to most of what was going on in this arc, right? So there's a lot of very, very unrelated things in the chat, and especially for like after this stream goes up on YouTube, that chat bar, if I can get that up there, would really help a lot. But a lot of you guys seem to not think this was a very poor episode. Give me ratings out of 10 or out of 5 in the chat. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. People are saying GT is starting to look good. GT's not bad. But anyways, that's basically it for, I guess if you are sick of the review, that is pretty much it for the review. But I am going to keep talking about the episode here, talking with you guys for however much longer. And a lot of you guys are giving this a 5, 6 out of 10. That is some harsh. 4, 7. I can agree with a 7 out of 10. I think that that would be a pretty fair grade. It was good, but it was nothing great. A lot of you guys are I see a lot of you guys are in like the 7 range, so it was a good episode, but it really wasn't anything special. And again, it almost seemed like it might have been pointless in some aspects, except for that last half was pretty engaging, I would say. But I think what really would have elevated this episode is that most of us in the chat probably already knew who Goku Black was from the spoilers. I think that would have helped, but I do have to cover the spoilers. I do want to look at them for you guys, and I do like actually looking at the spoilers ahead of time as well. So, you know, that's just me. But I'm still looking. A lot of you guys are saying 6.5 or 6 to a 7. That seems to be the general consensus. So, yeah, it probably is, off the top of my head, the weakest episode of the entire arc. But I was thinking about this. This whole arc has been like, what, 13 episodes now, right? They've put a lot of story and all sorts of crap into this arc with just these limited number of episodes. I think they did a really good job presenting the story so far. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much longer it runs for. If you guys had to guess, how much longer do you think this arc is going to run for? And how about this? Not really this arc, but let's just say up until the episode where Zamasu and Black are hypothetically defeated. How much longer do you think that's going to be? I'm going to give it about 6 episodes. I know it's kind of crazy, but it seems like that 20-ish episodes is kind of around the realm of where most of these arcs have been running at. So I think that 6, maybe 10 more episodes, but how much more can they pad this out, right? And I'm not saying it's being padded out. I'm not saying that it's being overused, because it's being done very well. But they've been to the future twice now. Are they really going to stay in here for 10 episodes fighting Goku Black, or are they going to have to go back again, right? I feel like this is the final trip, and it has to end soon. Daniel Nakanishi, I probably butchered that name so bad, says 10 episodes if they drag it out. I think that the thing is, I could see them almost dragging it out just to keep people engaged in the series, because who knows what they're going to do right after this episode, right? They might have a very long span of episodes where it's kind of some BS going on, right? Not a lot happening. Kind of like after the Battle of Gods arc, there were a couple of BS episodes, even though the one with Mr. Satan and Goku fighting was amazing. But I feel like they might do it that long just to keep people engaged, but hopefully they really don't. Hopefully it is something along the lines of 5 or 6 episodes. I think that would really, really benefit and keep the pacing solid, and really it would make this one of my favorite Dragon Ball arcs. But it is very short. But in the whole span of things, if you really think about it, without any filler from Dragon Ball Z. A lot of the, I mean, look at Kai. A lot of the arcs are a lot shorter in that. But this is going to be a very good arc indeed. It's already very good. Zamasu and Black are very interesting characters, but I guess now it's Zamasu and Zamasu, right? So it's interesting to see. By the way, did any of you guys see this? Toyotaro, the guy that does the artistry and the story, or, does the writing for the Dragon Ball Super manga, is actually going to be at New York City Comic-Con on the 8th, I believe. And I'm probably going to be there, so if I can, I want to ask him a few questions. I'm assuming he's going to have a translator there, unless he does speak, some bit of English, of course. I want to ask him some stuff. One thing I really do want to talk to him about, though, is I'm very curious because we don't get to see the outlines, right, for these episodes. Of course not. We don't get to see the outlines for these episodes or the manga chapters or anything like that. What I think is going to be interesting is I want to ask him, I think it was manga chapter 11 or 10, when Goku goes Super Saiyan God against Hit, right? I'm very curious to ask him because I know he's probably fully aware of the Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue thing. I'm just curious of if I can ask him what that outline might have looked like, what made him choose to make the red form there, why does he think Toei did the blue with the Kaioken, what was the separation there that caused that, because it's very different. So I think that would be pretty cool for sure. Josh, can you record your trip to New York Comic Con if you go? I do want to vlog there, but I'm not going to do the whole trip because it'd be like 3-hour drive or something, but I do plan on going. I haven't ordered tickets, but I know they're not going to be sold out either. So it's just about getting up there and getting a few days of work done in advance so I don't miss uploads for you guys. I don't like missing upload days. So let's see what we got here in the chat. Anything about these episodes? Let's see. How strong was the Goku that Zamasu stole? And who was that Goku? These are questions that will never be answered. I hope that they're answered next episode. Maybe not about how strong he was, but what era of Goku. I talked about this in my last stream, which was yesterday. If Zamasu stole a Goku, it's probably, we kind of came to the assumption that it is probably some sort of like an obsession type of thing. He's kind of obsessed with Goku. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is. Why would he need to steal the body of Goku, though? Is it a different version of the current Goku, like that fought Zamasu? Is that it? Because Zamasu would have been stronger than really would have been stronger than any other version of Goku, essentially. So I think that it's just interesting to think about it and look at it at that angle. Do you think Black killed Goku in Zamasu's body? I think once they switch bodies with these Super Dragon Balls, I think what happens is that they are going to have to kill him just so he does not interfere anymore. So that's something that's definitely going to happen. They will need a wish to restore the future once the enemies are defeated, but they will also need to find a way to deal with the immortal Zamasu. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to deal with Zamasu. I feel like there has to be either, obviously, the Omni King, if he can do anything. I'm sure that someone being immortal does not mean shit to him. He'll probably just be like, you're gone. Even if he's immortal, it's just like he is the king of everything. So who knows what the hell he can do. And I do kind of want there to be a type of wish to restore the future. That's something I have wanted for a while. Do you think Trunks will see some justice in this arc? Like a badass ending of the arc? I think Trunks should be able to do some stuff. We just saw in the preview for this next episode 61 that Trunks is like being strangled by Goku Black as Super Saiyan Rose. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Trunks fares. If he gets any sort of justice. I don't think he's gonna do anything to Zamasu, but if he does do anything, it's going to be Goku Black. It's just about how's he gonna keep up with him or what is he going to do, right? Because I don't think. Well, he might actually be able to cut him with a sword, even though, obviously, we can go back to Dragon Ball Z. Look at how Android 18 blocked Trunks' sword. Busted it, actually. In the fight with Trunks and Zamasu, when he was immortal, even though he is immortal, he's obviously much stronger than everyone else is now. Trunks still stabbed through him, and I don't know if that's just, if that's just their way of saying, okay, look this proves he's immortal because he just got stabbed and regenerated. Or can Trunks actually, would he be able to stab Goku Black or cut Goku Black in half? Hell, I don't really know. So it's kind of crazy. Why didn't Zamasu wish to have invulnerability? I mean, that's kind of like immortality, invulnerability. Isn't that it's kind of about the same. I guess being invulnerable is whatever. It's just made of steel. I don't know. So let's see here. What if Trunks gets killed again? Now that would be very interesting, but he would get revived in some aspect. Obviously, they wouldn't let him just be killed. But the thing is that they would either, number one, have to use Super Dragon Balls to revive him across his timeline, or just bring him back to the present and get the Dragon Balls again. Pretty simple. I'm actually very curious if Trunks is, and this is obviously if they're gonna revive him, they're gonna bring him back to like the Lookout or something to revive him if he does die. I'm just interested. Even though Trunks resides from a different timeline, he could still be revived. We've only seen it obviously when they're in the same timeline. If Trunks dies in the future with Goku and Vegeta there, and they come back and wish for him to be brought back without his body there, he probably couldn't be revived, I imagine. That would have to be something that the Super Dragon Balls would do, but still, obviously, if he does die, they're going to bring him back to the present. So, Dragon Ball Nation, do you think that Goku could kill Zamasu and Black with Spirit Bomb? I think he might be able to kill Goku Black. It's possible, but Zamasu, again, being immortal, there's got to be something special to do there. He's going to have to get defeated. I don't think he's going to live forever, but I don't think that Goku's going to use the Spirit Bomb. I don't know if a Spirit Bomb's ever really going to be used again. It's going to be interesting to see. Who do you think will get the kill on Goku Black and the kill on Zamasu? The Zamasu thing's up in the air. Goku Black, I would like to see Trunks in some aspect do it. If I had to be perfectly honest, though, if it's not Trunks, I do think that Goku will kill him. Not Vegeta. It's just my opinion. But all three of them are outclassed. So, but hey, Bulma's in the future, so Bulma might kill him. So, we don't really know. Bulma might kill him. I have like some artificial lighting. I have my Xbox One on, and it's like a big 4K TV, so it's blasting light back here. So it makes the lighting a little bit better, and whenever my controller disconnects, it kind of just darkens the room up. I will get better lighting for this, trust me, I will. It's just all about figuring it out. Wait, I forgot, is Black immortal? Black is not immortal. At least they haven't said he is. They haven't given any indication. I feel like if he was an immortal being, oh, that's right. Alexander Aramaki. I probably butchered your last name again. Black refused immortality for the sake of the growth in battle. I think I remember that now. See, when you do anything off the top of your head, some things can just slip up. But yeah, he's correct. I have terrible memory anyway, so I try my best. But no, Black is not immortal. But again, like what he just said, and I like that he makes the. I'm still curious of what the growth, him being stronger as he continues to fight, is like. That's not Zenkai boost. It's something else. But is it just because the fact that he declines immortality to grow in battle means that it's something involving him taking damage? But it's he's not getting Zenkai boost though. I guess after his first fight with Goku, where he got sucked back into the future. That would have been probably a Zenkai, but they don't make it seem like it's Zenkai boost because Trunks was fighting him, and Trunks was weaker than Black, and Black continued to get stronger according to Trunks. So, is it just a new form of Zenkai? Or are they just rewriting the way Zenkais work? I don't know. If they cut off Zamasu's head, then he might still live, but it'd be hard for him to do anything. Thing is, if they cut off his head, would he regenerate? Because when he got stabbed, he did regenerate that stab wound, right? Now, it could be different when he gets his head cut off, but there's got to be some sort of regeneration factor there with the immortality, right? So, I don't really know exactly. How do you think Black created Super Saiyan Rose? Well, he's just it is just Goku's body, but they made it pretty clear, I think, that, at least it just seemed to me that it was a Goku that either he just didn't know how to use Super Saiyan, Zamasu didn't, because Zamasu didn't even have a grasp on all of Goku's abilities. The longer he used Goku's body, like Captain Ginyu would, he'd get more used to it. Now, Ginyu didn't learn Goku's attacks or anything like that, and he doesn't learn other people's attacks, it doesn't seem. But the more that Zamasu was using it, the more he got control of it. So I'm guessing it is just a variant on the Super Saiyan Blue. That's just my opinion, with the ki that Zamasu has. So, Let me just ask, I know I asked this in my last stream, what do you guys think of the whole thing that Zamasu is Black Goku? How it's like a different version of him. I think that's really interesting that they went down that route. It definitely makes a pretty interesting type of story arc here. Because I always say this, it'd be way too simple to just make Black Goku, or I'm sorry, Goku Black Zamasu. And it would be too simple, but they made it in a way where it was actually pretty, somewhat complex, right? So, making it a different version of Zamasu, I think that's a really good way of pulling it off. And I was still so confused, like, why does... Some people say it's... I see Super Ken Kao said it was predictable. I just thought that after they already showed them separate, it's just like, okay, well then who the heck is it? There's all those theories about, is it going to be the older Kai Gowasu? So a lot of people think it was predictable. I haven't seen anyone say it's actually pretty cool. I thought it was cool, so I'm probably alone in that, but that's just my opinion. So, tell me money-making fucker. I don't know what that even means. If Goku and Vegeta fuse into Gogeta, do you think they will be able to take down Goku Black and Zamasu? Goku Black, yes. Zamasu, no. I don't think so. I do not think so. Ian Hansen said it was interesting that it was Zamasu. Do you think Zamasu and Gowasu fuse based off the preview? I don't think so, but I only saw the preview like the one time. I didn't go back and analyze it yet. So it's going to be hard for me to say. I don't even remember seeing Gowasu in it. I wasn't paying attention to it that much, so it's a little weird. Gohan needs to make a comeback. We'll see about that. So, do I see a Super Saiyan Blue fusion happening anytime soon? I think that's something it's really up in the air. And whether it is Gogeta or Vegeta, I know I almost want to make like a little like 4-minute, 3-minute video on this. I know a lot of people say Gogeta isn't canon, but if they ever did the fusion dance, who do you think they're going to fuse into? Even though it's a non-canon character, it's never been in canon material, they're not going to make up some new fusion. It's going to be... Gogeta is canon in a very loose sense. It is exactly what they would be if they fused. There's no way they would change it. Do I think it's going to happen? It's very difficult because it's been a while since we've had that hinted at, and we don't know when they're going to have to utilize that. So I'm not sure. My gut tells me we're not going to see fusion in this arc, but I do want to see it happen in Dragon Ball Super at some point. Whether it is Gogeta or Vegito in some way. Because the thing is that they're talking about how, well, we got Potara, we got the Potara earrings, we got the fusion, the Potara fusion defused with the Dragon Balls. But was that really, is it really used to hint at fusion in the future, or do they just want to split up those characters? I feel like it has to be the fusion because no one gives a shit about the Supreme Kai and Kibito. Probably barely anyone cared about Kibito Kai, the Kibito Kai fusion. So it's weird. So I think that there was a fusion hint there, but it's just, I don't think it's happening this arc right now. Do you think Super is half as good as GT? This last arc has been very, very well done. The arc before, I think Super has been better than GT. I don't think GT is terrible either, though. I like Super a lot. I'm not going to look at the first two arcs because they are movies. Dragon Ball Super started at, I believe, episode 28. That's when it really kind of kicked off, so it's tricky. But I think that is about it for this, guys. We've been running for about 30 minutes. I don't really want to do it like 30 minutes every time. I mean, maybe they could run that long, but I think I've kind of gathered up everything. I did my review. We kind of talked about everything else. I went off of you guys, and I think this was pretty fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Got a lot of people that were watching this, and I do appreciate everyone tuning in. So these will be happening probably every single week after Dragon Ball Super airs. What did I think of the new ending theme? Better than the last one. That's all I can say. My favorite one was the one prior to the last one. Whoa. I like that one. I probably just looked like a fruitcake. But anyways, guys, that's about it for this. Thanks for watching this stream. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And if you missed any of this stream, just go back. You can rewind it to the beginning, or this will be uploaded when it's done processing in probably like, what, half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. I got some motorcycles driving by, and it's past 9 o'clock, so I don't know why they're driving by. But streaming's ending. I don't want to awkwardly stare at the camera, and I don't want to cut off the stream early, so I'm going to go and awkwardly move off camera. And I'll catch you later.